Welcome back to another episode of Good Day Paris. I'm your host, Patrick Smith. Hope everybody's had a good day. The activity level for fall is picking up. You look back at our set here behind us. We've been doing some decorating, getting a little prepared, got some orange in here, and it's not just for the fact that Tennessee is winning. If anybody out there doesn't know, there's a football game that's going to be played this Saturday up around that university to the east. Is going to try to beat one of those universities to the south. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. UT, Alabama. Who you got? I know everybody's been thinking about that. You've been getting ready for the parties. Yeah, I bet you have. But we have got a great show today here in Paris, Tennessee on Good Day Paris. We're going to be having one of the park rangers from Paris Landing coming in a little bit. We're going to have some of the committee members from the Paris and Henry County Bicentennial Committee coming in to tell us what's been going on. But before we do that, wanted to give out our email address for, there it is, any upcoming events and ideas that you'd like to see on the show, like for us to cover, anything that you know. If there's somebody out there that's, I don't know, a phenomenal woodworker that you just think does something extraordinary, we'd like to see that. If you're starting a new venture out in Paris, Henry County, the surrounding counties, we'd love to hear about it. There's been such growth in our area over the last several years, and I'm surprised every day by all the talent and all of the good works that are being done in our community. Also, Halloween's right around the corner, and we've got an idea for maybe bringing in some ghost stories. So if you've got some ideas for ghost stories, we'd love to hear them. We'd love to have you tell your ghost story or scary story, especially if it has something to do with Paris and Henry County or the surrounding area, obviously. But get in contact with our producer there at gooddayparistn@gmail.com. And we'll work out some way. Either we'll record you over the phone, maybe come in, or who knows, might even be able to broadcast you live here from Studio B on our Halloween episode coming up on October 25th. So also, we've got another idea. Paris has got talent. Now, I know there's lots of these talent opportunities out there, talent shows, but hey, we're new to the game. We want to see if there's another group out there that wants to come and display their talent that maybe didn't want to go to Crider Idol or doesn't, some of these other singing competitions. Hey, if you can play the spoons, come up here and let's see it. I'd love to see that. That's a talent that I don't know that I know anybody that can play the spoons. Or maybe you're a comedian. You got some idea that you're funnier than everybody else. I like to laugh. Personally, I'd love to hear it. So whether anybody else thinks you're talented, I'd love to see you display your talent. But seriously though, we want to get this off the ground. We want to do it in November, and we really are looking for submissions. So hey, if you know somebody, hit them up. Say you need to submit to Paris Has Got Talent. Tell them to send their submissions to gooddayparistn@gmail.com. At this point, we're taking all comers. So, also you can find more of our content at myparistv.com. You can go to our website, and it's interactive, obviously, that you can see our various programming from myparistv.com. We're going to be broadcasting live through myparistv.com tonight, as well as on Good Day Paris on Facebook and on gooddayparis.com on YouTube. But go on, like and subscribe. We want to know if people are watching. Come on, come in here and hit the subscribe button. And that way we'll know that people are actually out there enjoying the content that we're putting together. That's a big thing that we hope that you're enjoying it, but we'd love to have some feedback. What could we do better? Maybe a different host. Maybe? No, we wouldn't do that. So, without any further ado, I'm going to move to our first topic. We're going to be talking with Mr. Carl Holder. Carl Holder is a member of the Paris and Henry County Bicentennial Committee, and he is here with us in studio. Carl, come on in.
Good afternoon,
Thanks for being here, Carl.
Absolutely.
Have a seat. There you go. That's my pen dropped. How are you, sir?
Doing fine, Patrick.
Well, I'm glad that you took time to come up here to our show to talk to us.
Glad to.
You've been working for a year now, I'd say, and probably longer than that, leading up to the bicentennial of both Paris and Henry County.
That's correct.
So you guys have gotten busy with the bicentennial celebration of Paris and Henry County being 200 years old. Which one's the oldest?
Henry County is the oldest.
Henry County.
It was actually founded in November of 1821.
Wow.
Then approximately 2 years later, the city of Paris was formed in September of 1823.
Okay, so Paris and Henry County, are they the oldest counties in West Tennessee or the oldest cities in West Tennessee? Or are they close to it? Do you know?
They are close to it. I believe maybe Memphis is the oldest city.
Mm-hmm.
I think Henry County is the oldest in what we consider West Tennessee, but I could be corrected.
Now, you are from
Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg.
Right.
Now, how long have you lived here in Henry County?
Oh, approximately. Let me think about that. Not quite 30 years. Longer than I've lived anywhere else.
But you came to Henry County and came to the city of Paris as a
city manager.
City manager. Right. That's right. And so you've pretty versed in the goings-on of Paris and Henry County and have been probably for 30 years, I'm guessing.
I was up until the time I retired about 7 years ago, at which time I didn't drop out of being active, but not quite obviously the level of public involvement that I would have had as a city manager.
Mm-hmm. But I know that you have been involved in many things in the county and the city over the years. You've been involved with the chamber, the industrial committee. I know that you and I are serving together on the Heritage Center board. And I'm sure numerous other things in Paris and Henry County. And I want to say thank you first for that service that you've done for us up to now. And leading up to the Bicentennial Committee, how many people are on the committee with you?
Oh, I think
half a dozen or
10
more?
10 or 12.
10 or 12?
We've got kind of a core membership, and then we have some people that we kind of pull in on special projects. So let's say 12. That's
a lot. You guys, I want to say, have done a lot of work up to this point already for just a committee of 12.
Exactly.
So leading up to the beginning of this, you guys had a kickoff ceremony back in November of last year. I think we've got some slides on the committee, or I'm sorry, the start, the kickoff, and that was something that was held at the courthouse.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of set forward. There it is, the proclamation and and the beginning, November 7th, some of the drone footage there. So that actually kicked off the beginning
Right.
of the bicentennial for Paris and Henry County, the 200th bicentennial. And so we had proclamations there that was read, I guess, not only by the county mayor, but
County mayor, the city mayor, our local state representative.
okay. So we've got, who is this singing? I remember that. I think I was supposed to come and sing, but I think I was glad that I wasn't up there.
This is our all-county choir.
Oh no, I wasn't in that.
These are people from all over the county who were willing to come and to lend their voices to this special day. And they did a number of, I guess you would say, spiritual / patriotic selections.
Yeah. What has been the most interesting thing that you've found out about Paris and Henry County? You surely have had opportunity during this process of meeting people and gathering information to get this started. Is there something that maybe comes to mind that you can think of?
I think the thing that really surprised me the most, and maybe that's unfair to say that, is in February we had a program that was called Music from the Motherland. Andre Richardson wrote an original script and produced it, and it was all African American actors, singers, dancers, great musical performances, just outstanding. I was one of only 2 white people in it, and definitely wasn't singing.
And that was performed was that at the Crider Center?
At the Crider Center.
Which is another great asset of Paris and Henry County.
But it was an outstanding show with such outstanding, as I said, dancing and singing that, of course, was in keeping with the theme.
I've seen coming in and out of Paris and Henry County signs that have been erected that say, in the shape, I guess it's the logo for the bicentennial,
right,
recognizing
right.
that it's 200 year.
Right.
Now, how did we go about doing that? Were you out there putting the signs up?
As best I recalled in my former life as city manager, I usually would just tell people to go out and put signs up.
And you kept doing that.
As you know, and don't hit anything on the way down.
Yeah.
That call 1-800, whatever it is. So in this case, we had to go to the city and politely ask, would you put those signs up for us?
Well, I can see that. Now, instead of telling them, you have to politely ask a little bit. But they are a great trademark, I think, for Paris and Henry County to say, hey, look, here we are. We're 200. Some of you other guys are a little younger. You got to catch up. We're the big brothers in West Tennessee right now.
That's right.
I was going to, Henry County was named after Patrick Henry.
You should be able to remember that.
I've always loved the fact that it was named after me, or I was named after Paris, or the founder. But there's somebody else that's named after Henry County. Look at that. Would you look at that cute, adorable? It doesn't get any better. That is Patrick Henry Smith.
Okay.
And he is a Cavapoo that lives with me and my wife, or we live with him.
Yeah.
But so I'm supportive of Henry County to the point that I named my dog Henry.
Well, let me ask you something since you brought that up. What was Patrick Henry's most famous quote?
Ooh, is that the one, was that "Give me liberty or give me death"?
Right. What was his second most famous quote? I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
I smell a rat. Patrick Henry, as few people know, was not in favor of forming a constitutional government. He felt like it would eventually lead to a monarchy. But of course that did not happen, and so that fact is just kind of eased back into history.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. It could still, could
Not
still be
yet.
out there.
Not yet.
What are some of the other activities that are being done to commemorate or to honor the 200th anniversary? I know we talked about
that.
what you were talking about, the musical celebration.
We commissioned a couple of works. The first one was a history book. Kevin, you're going to have to keep backing up a bit.
The history book was the blue, that one there.
There we go. It's actually green, but that's okay. We won't be picky about it. It's probably the first thing we did, and a lot of people are calling saying, "Where's my book?" It has been delayed because after we set the deadline for people getting their family histories, and this was the point, Patrick, was to collect several family histories, primarily of people whose family have been here a long time.
Sure.
And also feature stories of churches and businesses that have been here a long time. I think you entered your own business. And so a lot of those kept dribbling in. We kept putting off the deadline.
Sure.
Waiting for people to finish. And so eventually
I wish they would have
off.
done that for me in college. Just whenever I
Put
got
off the
ready,
deadline.
I'm not ready to turn that in yet. I'm not ready. I'm not going to do it. But they didn't. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. A little late now. But anyway, we're about ready to go to press, as they say, which I really don't know exactly what that means, other than the saying itself. And we're told sometime in the spring.
Sometime in the spring, the books will be ready.
Those of you that are still looking for your book, they are being assembled.
Yeah. And it's quite an undertaking. And it serves almost as a time capsule.
It really does for a lot of the families that, particularly those that are well written, can go back to, some families back to the 1820s, others coming on up as we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does. It creates kind of a different vision as you see which families arrived at what point.
Right.
If your family's been here 100 years, that's nothing to laugh or sneeze at.
No, that's significant.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I know we have some Century family farms in Henry County, several, I think, actually. And a lot of families, as you said, date back to the early 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
And still very active in the community.
Yeah. And one other thing that we commissioned, you talked about the difficulty of the book. I don't think we had a good idea about how much work was going to be involved between collecting the stories and sometimes getting them into readable fashion, little grammar correction, that sort of thing. And
are you editor-in-chief of this book?
What's that thing on your computer that corrects things?
Auto check or something like that?
Yeah, that's my best friend.
Mine too.
Not because my spelling is that bad, but quite frankly, my keyboarding skills are horrible. So but anyway,
that's exactly what I'm gonna say from now on. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's wisdom that came out right there, Carl. It's not that your spelling's bad; it's that your keyboarding skills are poor. I love that.
I can't deny either one. The other thing about the book then, of course, was collecting the money, which was often difficult, and just getting things assembled from different places, and it was a lot more work. Unfortunately, right in the middle of it, our archivist Stephanie Taylor, got very, very ill. And that set us back, and fortunately some of the people in the archives stepped up and helped, so that all of that didn't fall on Stephanie when she got back. But anyway, we're apparently pretty close to us being finished, and it's all being done over in Missouri somewhere. One other work that we commissioned was Kevin, if you can pull up the 3 courthouse pictures.
That we had Dan Knowles, or you had Dan Knowles?
Dan Knowles was involved.
To commission?
Yeah.
There we go.
There he is. He's signing some there. I'm sure Kevin doesn't appreciate me giving instructions to him.
You can't, you were the city manager. You can't help it. You were used to giving orders.
Yeah, well, these days it's a 2-person household, and you can imagine how much instruction I give. This is, again, the logo, our logo, and there's the picture. As you see,
you have 2, is it 3 courthouses that you're actually seeing there? 3
courthouses there. I think it's hard to tell them without seeing the picture full on. But this is not the first, second, and third. The first was in the Clifty area. The second was at the current site, built in about 1850. And then the next one, sometimes in the 1860s, I think. And then, of course, the current courthouse
now, wait a minute.
in 1896.
Now, you have spoken some knowledge that I was not aware of. That there was an original courthouse in the Clifty area.
Right.
I did not realize that.
Oh, there are a lot of, I guess you'll call apocryphal tales about on court day, they sold pies in one side of the courthouse, whiskey on the other side. I guess back in those days there were 2 staples of a diet.
Yeah.
Apparently whiskey and pies.
Whiskey and pies.
I wasn't there to testify to that, so I've been told.
I did not realize that. I knew that there were multiple courthouses over the years.
Yeah.
But I thought they were all at the current location. So that is interesting.
Yeah, I think it only lasted. Actually, the very first one was in somebody's house, just where they held court. Then they built the courthouse, which had the typical dog trot area. Even in our day, we still saw houses had been built 75 years ago of that style. But I don't know what happened to the first one, if it burned or what, or anyway, they built the second one sometime in the 1850s.
We definitely have a beautiful courthouse, probably one of the, isn't it the oldest active
I believe it's
working?
The oldest active, right. I think active being the
because I think there maybe are a couple or several older into East Tennessee that are more like relics.
Probably museums or something on that order.
Now you brought something else into the studio, and we're going to have, go ahead and pull that up. It is a quilt that was made by...
This is a quilt that was made by Mr. Flynn Watson's 5th grade class at Henry School.
Let's see. And, where can we get you to? There. Oh, look there. Look, we're behind the curtain. Anybody ever wondered who the men behind the curtains are? It's me and Carl.
Oh, that would be unfortunate.
We're pulling all the strings behind the curtain. Patrick Smith and Carl Holder. But this is, all right, so this was a quilt that was...
It's a project that they just took upon themselves to do, and after they made it, they donated it to us, and of course we take every opportunity to display it as a way of saying thank you to them.
Absolutely.
I think one of the nicest stories...
This was 5th grade?
5th grade. Mm-hmm.
They are talented. I like the seal here. There's a lot of detail in that.
think one of the nicest stories that came out of this was that we had the quilt at Oktoberfest and with our booth, and we're showing it off. And a young lady, obviously, I guess 11 or 12, came up and pointed at one of them and said, "I did that."
Oh, that is great.
Yeah, I'm not. Is that your story? Okay.
That is good.
Yeah.
So she's been memorialized in this quilt. Yeah, they really hit everything. They've got the state flowers and animals. I see it now. There's a kind of a theme there, and then we hit the patriot and the catfish, our music heritage, definitely fishing heritage, and then we have over here. You see that? That's what's happening. That's the big Power T there. That's coming up this Saturday.
Absolutely.
Now, what else is there some merchandising that I've seen around town? Because I've got a shirt, which, like, there they are. They are very nice shirts and all sorts of stuff.
They're still at Laura Lee's and at the Heritage Center.
Laura Lee's and at the Heritage Center, you can get merchandise. Are those the only two that are carrying the merchandise now?
Right.
Okay. And here, there's Miss Jackie Jones and Miss Marcia at
Right.
where was this at?
I believe that's at Oktoberfest.
The Bicentennial at the Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Now,
At y'all's booth.
the Bicentennial, or the Oktoberfest, of course, is a program or a production of Holy Cross Catholic Church.
Right.
And they just celebrated their 100th year.
Wow.
And we really wanted to participate with them in a number of their events, but COVID kind of knocked a hole in some of their plans. But we gave them some recognition and congratulations on 100 years in our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they've just celebrated their centennial.
Right.
Wow. That is, we have several churches and several that date back to, they're still functioning. I think that's right. They date back to around the 1830s and 40s.
Birds Creek.
Birds Creek is one.
Is one that they're about 200 years old. The one that I would know for certain is the Disciples Church. They were founded somewhere around the 1830s here. And I would think that probably the Baptist, Methodist, Cumberland Presbyterian would have been, which I don't think we have one here. I think it's Presbyterian USA, but those would have been the ones that would have been most prominent in this area.
Yeah, yeah. What are there other activities that are going to be coming along to continue the celebration? Because this is a 2-year celebration that started November of last year. We're coming into the conclusion of the first year whenever November comes around. And then it'll go on to, will it conclude of November of 23?
September of 23.
September of 23?
Yes, and we haven't confirmed it yet with Dan, but talk with Dan Knowles about sometimes when he's in town in January or February of doing a patriotically themed program at the Crider. Also, maybe, I don't know how many people know this story, but during the time of Camp Tyson, there was a black soldier that was killed here. And he is buried in an unmarked grave. So we're trying to procure a veteran's marker to mark his grave, and we will have a ceremony. Then we're also going to have a quilt show, hopefully in April. And then a number of just kind of scattered events. But the big finale will be in September for the city of Paris. when we'll have maybe a 2 or 3 days with various events. We're still pretty much in the planning stage for that.
Okay. Hopefully some big fireworks, big celebration. I see you thinking about it. Yeah, I want fireworks, food, entertainment.
Well, I cringed when you said fireworks because they're not allowed inside the city.
We surely know somebody around here that let us get a permit or something. Man.
I don't know exactly who we'd have to get a special exemption from, but maybe we'll go to work on that.
Yeah. 200 years is a big mark, and we think about the country itself not being much older than that, and for Paris, which I think Paris is the oldest municipality or oldest city, I think, formed in West Tennessee. So we go back quite a ways.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm appreciative of everything that you guys have been doing, Carl. The Bicentennial Committee, you've got Miss Jackie Jones here in the studio with you. And I know you guys have done a tremendous amount of work. You've got a Facebook page here. You go to Facebook and go to Paris Henry County 200. That's their Facebook page where you can go in and you can see what activities are coming up. They've got links in there to the book. As Carl said, though, I think it's going to press, so you might be out of luck on that, but you can still order one. You can also look at some of the other photographs that they have on there. They've got quite a bit of information. I saw where Dr. David Webb had given a little brief synopsis of Paris and Henry County and what's taking place. So a lot of information there on y'all's Facebook page, and a lot of hard work and a lot of appreciative work from me and the rest of the citizens of Paris and Henry County for taking this on and recognizing the wonderful place we live. So, Carl, thank you so much for everything that you've been doing. And we're going to, Terry, got something coming on this week and this weekend, some upcoming events?
I do, Patrick. Thank you. And lots of fun and exciting things are going around downtown that you and your family can be a part of. So I just want to share a little bit about that. So Halloween is just around the corner and the scarecrows are still around the square. So from now through October 31st, checking out all the creative submissions this year, and awards have been given. The most original commercial bank and trust, the best constructed Kreider Performing Arts Center, the best in show, Henry County Medical Center. And the honorable mentions are Paris Karate, Paris Police Department, Paris Henry County Arts Council. And you can still vote for the People's Choice Award with the winner to be announced on Halloween. This is going to be great. And thanks to everybody who participated so far. This has been wonderful. The children just love it. We're so grateful to have all these wonderful scarecrows downtown around the square.
Yeah, they were scary. They look good, though.
They do look good. So the Henry Volunteer Fire Department's Blazing Demons is back on for another year. Open every Friday and Saturday, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. every weekend in October. And they'll be sure to get your heart pumping. They're scary. During the last weekend in October, they'll be open the 28th through the 31st. And they're ready and waiting to make your nightmares come true. So come on out and have some fun and have some scares and support your local Henry Volunteer Fire Department. All proceeds will support the Henry Volunteer Fire Department. And who doesn't like apples? The Home Place 1850s Working Farm in the LBL will be holding Apple Fest October 15th through the 16th in the Land Between the Lakes recreational area. Find out more on Facebook at Home Place 1850s Farm. Take in the autumn air and celebrate the season. Join them as they explore the uses, the history, and crafts around this most famous fruit, the apples. The City of Paris, however, in the Parks Department, will be holding Spooktacular at the Eiffel Tower Park on October 29th. Contests, games, candy, and a choice of 2 trails to walk. It's going to be fun for the entire family, so come on out. And this Friday, October 14th, we have Noon on the Square, this time featuring the incomparable Johnny Mac. We all just love him. Starting at 11:30 a.m. And on a side note, Johnny will be here, yes, here, in the studio here at Good Day Paris on the 25th of this month. So be on the lookout for that event posting. And if you missed last week's show, we featured women's self-defense demonstrations with the Chief of Henry Police Department, Thomas Tharp. This coming October 17th, the Henry Police Department will host a women's self-defense seminar at the Henry Civic Center from 6 p.m. through 8:30 p.m. The course will cover common attacks and show you the most effective counter techniques. The practical self-defense exercises taught will empower you to defend yourself from nearly every form of attack. But you must register due to the high demand for this course, and spaces are limited, so don't put it off. Feel free to contact Chief Thomas Tharp with any questions about this training opportunity. And as we wrap it up again with a reminder of the special offer by the Parisian Movie Theater, every Monday in October and November, admissions will be only $5. So go get caught up with some of your favorite flicks. And that's it. So back over to you, Patrick.
All right, lots of stuff going on in Paris and Henry County. Who doesn't love apples? I don't know. Get out there and get you some at 1850s Farm. We've got an anxious guest in the background, if y'all can't hear. Just squawking to get on the camera. But yeah, we have with us in studio our park ranger, Miss Regina Lowry. Hey, Regina.
Hello.
What do we got here?
A little eastern box turtle. That's Ernest.
Ernest goes to camp. And who's Squeaky here?
This is Hazel. Hopefully she'll
Hazel.
calm down enough to let us talk.
Oh, right. I am so glad to have little Ernest here and Hazel with us. Hazel, what's wrong? What you doing?
See, I've got to over-talk everyone,
Aw.
but she's an American Kestrel Falcon, and everyone can come to the park if they want to hear her story.
Oh, wow. So thank you for coming, first of all, and coming on to the show. I know that you, as a park ranger, you don't really do anything down there. Y'all just hang out and drive around in circles, right?
We just hike and fish all day long.
No, but
I wish.
y'all are busy all the time doing amazing things. And what all do you have to do down there as a park ranger?
Well, our main responsibility is to protect and conserve the natural resources, our woodlands, and our ecosystem on the state parks.
Ernest just made turtle babies.
It's actually probably just the dirt from up in his shell falling out. We hope so anyway.
You took pointers from Carl Holder on how to correct up things. I see that. Yeah,
but we wear many hats as a park ranger, and but that is our main responsibility. But one day we could be checking in visitors for a campsite or a cabin, or patrolling through the park, or leading a hike, and we go to schools to educate. And we have schools come to our park to educate on the protection and the conservation of our environment. So
What
a
got
little bit
you
of
in-
everything.
What got you into being a park ranger?
I've always told my grandfather when I was younger that I was going to do something in wildlife. And I had some really awesome professors at UT Martin in college. And I sat down with a couple of them, and everything that they had me list everything I liked, and everything was outdoors. And
What'd you go to school for? What degree did you pursue?
I actually ended up getting an independent studies degree, but I was working on my biology degree, but I wanted to get hired really, really fast.
Yeah.
So I have independent studies with concentration in biology. I was only a couple of classes from getting my biology degree.
He
but
is vocal.
He is very vocal, or she is.
She
this is actually
very
a female.
Vocal. Okay.
I'm sorry, Hazel.
Now that makes sense.
But-
when you said she
Yes.
being vocal, I got you now. If it was a guy, he'd just be sitting there like, where's my food?
Yes.
I'm just hanging out.
She likes to overtalk. We used to have her in the park office, but every time the phone would ring, she'd start talking. And so the ladies were like, y'all are going to have to find her somewhere else. So we're actually in the process of building some new aviaries at the park office too, and a flat cage for our rehab birds to see if when they get ready to be released, if they are ready to fly.
Mm-hmm. You got that aviary. Is the park office, that's the building that is right to the left if you're going towards the lake?
Over, yes, sir.
It's right there on the left as you would pull into the marina?
Yes, sir.
That's your park
right there.
office?
Right there. And right beside the park office there is an aviary. We have 3 education aviaries up there right now, and we are working on putting 3 more up there.
Look at that. There's some more dirt that's falling out of his shell.
That's what it is.
That's amazing.
We're going to say
just
that's what
dirt
it is.
just falls right out of his little shell there. Huh. Interesting.
Ernest is sweet. He makes a really good program turtle.
He does. Little Ernest, he's like a little paperweight
He
there, but
is.
I'm afraid he'd take off.
If you need me to hold him, I can hold him.
No, I like Ernest. I like him. Having
Okay, Hazel.
the state park in Henry County is a huge plus, and in my opinion, it's one of the premier state parks in the state of Tennessee.
Of course, we're the best.
Of course. And we just recently got a new
The
lodge.
Yes, we did.
So it's a lodge as opposed to the other one, we called it the inn, and we call this one the lodge.
We do call it the lodge. It's beautiful. Every room is lakefront, so each room that you stay in, you can see the lake from it. It is gorgeous. The restaurant, when you're sitting in the dining area, you can look out and see the lake. It is beautiful.
It's
beautiful.
stunning. When a guest comes to Paris Landing, or somebody wants to travel to the state park, what are some activities that they could do on the state park?
Well, we have a Raptor Ridge Trail. It's one of the trails that on our park, and it's approximately 3.2 miles. It's easy to moderate. It's really nice.
Is that a walking trail?
It is a walking trail. It's located right beside the new Nature Center. We've had the Nature Center running for almost a year now, and this is where the Nature Center is actually where we house Hazel here and Ernest, and we have some snakes in there too. So that's one of the best places to go. We have a retired teacher that is working with us at the Nature Center. So you could stop in there, learn a little bit about the park.
What is that?
That is actually a hognose snake that I caught last week.
You just snatch it up with your hands?
I did. It was in the road, so I was relocating it to a safer area, but that is one of the native snakes that we have in our area. They're actually very docile. I love the hognose. They're one of my favorite snakes. But they will play dead if you scare them, and so this one didn't.
That usually works the other
out.
way. Usually it's the humans that play dead whenever they see a snake.
They
but
really do.
This snake will just will it
flip
roll
over
on his back and just?
Yes, sir. It'll roll over on its back and throw its tongue out, and it starts jumping around. And
like it's been run over. It's just flopping around.
And when it thinks the threat's gone, it'll flip back over and go its own merry way. But if the threat comes back, it flips back over like, I'm still dead. Leave me alone.
Wow. So you just that's another one of your jobs, is protecting hognose snakes.
It is, and that's my favorite job.
Yeah. What else is
we do programs. We have seasonal interpretive recreators that come and work for us. Sometimes they just work through the summer. They're college students. Sometimes we'll keep them longer, and they help us program, which the park rangers, we do a couple programs a month too ourselves. We'll lead hikes. We'll take people on canoes and kayaks. We do crafting and just education. Everything's all about education, but fun. And I don't know if they have a picture of it, but we have a list of programs coming up. This is some of the stuff that our seasonal Haley is doing in the next few weeks for Halloween and Thanksgiving.
Your seasonal worker, Haley?
Haley, her name is Haley. She is awesome.
Hey, Haley.
She is working on becoming a park ranger now.
Oh,
so
yay.
We are hoping that she will have a job. She's actually the one seated in the back by the young man. You can see her back. And there's another young lady that's standing up with our uniform on. She's also, she was a seasonal this summer, but she's back in college now. But we are also hiring for seasonals coming up in January and February. We hire earlier. So if you know any college students that are sophomore or above, they can go on our website and fill out for a position to come and work for us over the summer. And we always look at the seasonals for park ranger positions. I was actually a seasonal for 4 years.
So it helps you to
It really does.
Really helps you get a leg up if you want to go in. Be a park ranger at any park.
At
not
any
just,
park,
not
right.
just this one.
And you can, our first year seasonals, we typically put at a smaller park, and then we take second year seasonals at the resort parks like ours because we have a lot more to do on our park. But it's something that helps them get a position with us, teaches them about educating and getting out in the public and being able to educate.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. I'm sorry, Hazel.
Oh, Hazel. Hazel
She is mad.
She is just ready to fly away.
Aren't
you, Hazel?
I might have to put her back up in a few minutes, if you don't mind. She's getting a little upset with us.
All right. Bring that over here, and she can slide it in. Does the golf course fall under the park rangers?
The golf course, we do patrol that area, and we all work together. Even though they're hospitality, we all are a team, and we take care of them. They take care of us. Because
there are a lot of animals roaming around out there.
There is, and they are Audubon certified, which is wonderful. They are really big about making sure that whenever you're golfing, you can go down and you'll see a raccoon or a deer or a bird or a snake. And they're all about protection and conservation of that area. And we're always looking for new ways of keeping like the greens nice and fresh without using harmful chemicals. So the golf course, the employees and the team there are wonderful.
You know, the golf course, and speaking of the animals that are out there at the golf course, there are some vicious squirrels out there at the golf course, because what they do is they get my golf ball and they go hide it in the woods all the time. It's these squirrels, Carl, that get my golf ball and go hide it in the woods.
That's his excuse of why I'm not making a hole in one.
That's it. That's the squirrels.
It's the squirrels.
It's the squirrels. I'm telling you, they're vicious out there.
Have you seen our bees yet? We've got honeybees now. Yes. You better watch them. They'll take off with that ball too. But no, we do. Mr. Keith purchased some honeybees in that area, and we're hoping to start producing some honey.
That is very neat.
It is awesome, yes, because the bees are one thing that is needing to be protected, and so he's helping us out by purchasing some, and hopefully they'll grow and we can get a few more.
You know, I remember I was probably 10 years old, maybe younger. Y'all used to rent, or you could check out all sorts of fun activities. And I say fun activities, they were things to keep us occupied, I'd
Right.
say, out there. And I remember that y'all had a bow and arrow course out in front of the old inn.
They used to, and we have talked about that with a few members that actually had that up and running, and we talked about getting it going again, but then COVID happened, and I haven't heard anything else about it since then. But hopefully one of these days we'll get that up and going again, because that was something really nice for people to be able to do. But we do have scavenger hunts that you can come by the Nature Center and pick up the scavenger hunt sheet.
Okay.
And then once you go and do that, you can come back and get you a gift. Whoever in your group has won the scavenger hunt. But every weekend we have some kind of program going on. And there are some during the week. Now during the summer, it's every day we have a program. But in the colder months and when school goes back, we start doing Friday, Saturday, and Sundays programs. But we do a few during the week, but mainly we kind of stay towards Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Nature Center is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there's always something going on there, some kind of craft, or
Look at
we're leading a
Ernest.
hike. I told you, Ernest is a really good program turtle.
He is
He
a
is
camera
wonderful.
hog. Look at him. He thinks he's flying right now or swimming.
We have some
Okay.
hilarious, I wish I would have sent them to you. We have some pictures of him. The Nature Center was full one day, and
Yeah.
they look up, and he is in his little aquarium, and he's on the edge of it looking over like, hey, what's everyone doing? It's
Yeah.
adorable.
Is this now? Box turtles are they are mostly in the forest. Is that right?
Correct. They don't swim, so
They don't
please don't
swim.
take them. They can a little, but most of them
Oh.
just kind of go on down like a rock.
Man.
So, and we have had some that see them and think, oh, it needs to go back to the water. No, they need to stay on land. Don't put them in the water.
Yeah. Oh,
But
don't take
if you
Ernest
do see
and throw
them
him
walking
in a pond.
across, right, and don't paint their shells. You know, I know when we were younger, a lot of people used nail polish and stuff to paint the
Would
turtle
paint
shells.
them?
It's actually, that is their backbone. That is part of their body. So we don't want to
What-
paint them.
What does that? Does their shell breathe?
Um,
Or how does that work?
They can absorb things through their skin and stuff, but that is their backbone. It is like a hard, you know, it's nothing's really going to go through it, but it can. So you don't want to. You have to put your hand up under him. He's trying to get off, but they can absorb stuff like that, and it's just toxic to them. So we just recommend not.
Now, his
And
shell.
you can tell that this one, if you look, he has the hinge. If you want to tell a difference between a land turtle and a water turtle, he's got a hinge. So he can go all the way up
all the way
in his
into his shell.
where a water turtle can't. And then their
okay.
talent or their little claws are different too.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a male because, and you can tell.
Oh, I can't wait to find this
And
out.
he's got an indentation under his shell there, where a female will not have that.
Really?
Yep,
Huh.
it's pretty neat. But he has a sweet
He
little
has.
turtle.
So this part.
That little indentation shows that he's a male. That's one way you can tell.
Well, I did not know that.
He's like, would you stop doing
What's
that?
up, Ernest?
You see his head? He's flopping
Yeah,
up.
me and Ernest are buddies.
He is. He might want to go home with you. He's a sweetheart.
Now, what do box turtles eat?
And when they're younger, they'll eat more protein, like insects,
Insects.
worms, stuff like that. As they get older, they'll eat more vegetation. We feed Ernest here, we feed him a little bit of everything. Right now, we give him some mealworms, regular worms. They'll eat some spiders and little things like that, but I'm not giving him a spider. But we do fruits too. We'll give him some fruits and some vegetables and some kale. But mainly, right now, he's into worms and
I know a lot of people, or at least we have in the past as kids, would bring them home and want to keep them as a pet for a
Yes,
while.
yeah.
And we'd always want to feed them like lettuce or something.
Yeah.
And like, why won't he eat? That's not what they wanted. They wanted,
no, they
they
want
wanted
something good and
spiders
juicy.
and crickets. And, all that kind of good
little
stuff.
worms, any kind of a mealworm. But yeah, he still likes the fruit and stuff. The older they get, like I said, they're more vegetation. But as younger, they're still growing, so they need that protein.
What other animals? You've got more birds at the aviary.
Yes, sir. We have a red-tailed hawk, a great horned owl, a little barn owl that just recently, he was hit by a vehicle and his wing had to be amputated part way up to the elbow. So he's a permanent education raptor now. And then we've got a barred owl. All of them are in our education aviary, which is beside the park office. But we also, Paris Land, and a lot of people don't know, we have a rehab facility too. We keep those birds separated. We actually have an Eagle Scout that's getting ready to remodel our rehab facility to help us make it better for the birds that we're getting ready to release. But that's pretty much off limits though to the park visitors, only because we don't want them interacting with people. We don't want them getting imprinted, which means that they get used to humans and they depend on us. So we want to get them back in the wild as fast as we can.
What the barn owl makes,
it's screech.
It's the screech sound.
It will, like a screech owl. A screech owl makes a screeching noise, but the barn owl makes a really eerie, scary yell that scares people too. So we
have several.
He's adorable though.
Yeah, out in our neck of the woods, and
they'll run you out of the woods.
Yeah, they get loud.
Yeah, I think the little screech owls do too. I think most of the hunters run from a little screech owl that's about this big because it sounds like a lady yelling, or
does.
It's really scary. But
blood curdling kind of a sound.
Yes, it is.
Well, so we've got the events, and we had the event calendar
We
there.
actually, speaking of events, I've actually got a hike coming up. I think it's on the 22nd. It's not on this one. You'll have to look at our website.
Is that the actual name of? That's not the hike we're going on. That sounds terrifying.
That is, Haley. Oh no, our snakes are wonderful, but that website right there that is on right now, you can pull that up, and all of our events are on it, and you can register there for them. Some of them are paid, most of them are free. If we ask for a fee, it's actually just to cover the cost of what we are doing, and it helps us to get more program supplies to keep this up and be able to do the free ones as well. But I've got a hike coming up, I think on the 22nd, that you could come and hike with me, and I'll teach you some apps like our Healthy Park, Healthy Person app, where you can actually gain points while you visit a park, and you can come and redeem rewards at the end, either in our park office in the gift shops or a camping site for free. There's lots of things you can do with that Healthy Parks app. And then also there's a few other apps that if you want to learn what some of the plants or animal species or insects that you're seeing when you're walking or hiking, I can teach you some apps that are wonderful for that.
I'm always looking for a new app, especially
come
when it
hike
comes
with
to
us.
identifying tree species or animal types or something.
iNaturalist is one of the best ones. You can just take your phone camera and hold it over, like if I had a plant species native right in front of me, and I could hold it over and it tells you what that species is.
That's amazing.
It's wonderful.
That is.
And it's free.
That's even better.
That's even better, yes.
You're just carrying
so
around.
come to my hike and I'll teach you that. And then Haley has, if you want to get ready for Halloween this year, Haley's got a program where she's going to paint a pumpkin with visitors. Now you do have to register for those, so we know how many pumpkins to purchase ahead of time. But they're not small pumpkins. They're large pumpkins.
Big pumpkins that you're going to paint?
Really large pumpkins, and they're really cute. And it's really nice, family oriented. So our programs are not just focused on kids, they're focused on families, everyone. So we invite everyone out to come and do the programs with us.
Now, y'all have a big event coming up, if I'm not mistaken, or y'all doing the drive-through lights?
The Santa's Nights of Lights, yes. We are still working with the Paris Tourism League to make the lights larger each year. We are never going to charge, hopefully. We want to keep it free for anyone and everyone to be able to drive through. So we ask for donations only. You could donate that day or ahead of time. Whatever donations we get, we buy lights for it. So 100% of it goes back into buying lights for the next year. So last year it was a small little light show, and this year it's going to be a little bit larger. So each year we're hoping to keep it growing, and we invite businesses to come out and set up with us. But I look forward to it this year because we're going to incorporate hay rides. Now, I think we will probably charge for the hay rides only because of the gas, getting people back and forth. But as to driving through, we will always keep that donation only.
Is there an opportunity for sponsorship?
There is, and they can contact myself or go through the park office or through the Tourism League.
Because that would be a great opportunity to sponsors for the community to be able to go out and be a part of that hayride without worrying about having to pay. And this is there's your email address there.
Yes, please.
You can email her at regina.lowry@tn.gov.
My crazy face over there. I was so excited about that snake.
I can tell. But you can, if you're interested in any of the activities, if you're a business that potentially wants to sponsor, if you want to find out more about our great state park here in Henry County, you can again go and email Regina, or here's the park websites. Looking for volunteers, I'm sure. Always any opportunity to have some additional volunteers, and then you can go to their Facebook page as well for information on again upcoming events or just what's going on, any information about Paris Landing State Park, which I'm extremely partial to and have always felt that it's the best state park.
It is. Love it.
I love going to Fall Creek Falls. I'm not gonna lie. I do like that, but it just doesn't seem to compare to being here on Kentucky Lake.
Well, we appreciate that. I love Paris Landing. That's the park that I was a seasonal at for 4 years, and I just couldn't see myself going anywhere else right now, even though I love to visit the other parks. I'm actually going hiking in a couple of weeks to one of the ones at South Cumberland.
I think, Ernest, the dirt that's falling out.
The dirt's gone now?
I smell the dirt now or something. I caught a whiff of something there, Ernest. I don't know.
We're just going to go with it's dirt.
Okay, it's dirt. Well, I'm going to give Ernest back to you, Regina. Thank you so much for coming in today. You can just sit here as we, and when you come back, you're going to come back though.
Sure, anytime.
Can you bring some more?
Yeah, I'll bring you
animals?
a snake. I'll bring you a snake next time.
That'd be great. I want to get that planned out so that I can have my wife in here, because I bet you she'll just love that. She just cannot wait to be as close as possible to a snake. That would be so great. No, it wouldn't be great, would it, babe? No, probably wouldn't be great. But thank you so much, and thank you, Carl, and thank you, Miss Jackie Jones, for being in here in studio with him. Thanks to the Paris Henry County Bicentennial Committee. Thank you, Regina.
Thank you.
For taking time out of, I know, a very busy and demanding schedule that you have as a park ranger, for coming and bringing Ernest and Hazel. Was it Hazel?
Yes, Hazel.
Hazel the falcon?
Yes, American kestrel falcon, smallest falcon in North America.
Hazel the falcon and Ernest the box turtle were our distinguished guests here on Good Day Paris. And that's our show. We're so thankful for everybody that's tuned in today. Thankful for Miss Terry for sprucing up the studio here for us. Remember, we really want to highlight Paris's talent. That's really what this show is about, guys. I want to showcase the best and the brightest, and from Paris, Henry County, Carroll County, Benton County, Weakley County. We'd like to see what your talents are. I know that there's somebody out there that is just the best mime that anyone has ever seen and can be trapped in a box like nobody's business. So get out your camera and record yourself being trapped in a box and ship it to gooddayparistn@gmail.com. And any other suggestions for upcoming shows, upcoming events, things that we're missing that need to be highlighted and showcased. I'd like to see if we could get maybe the Madrigals in here to sing. I'd like to see if you guys there at the high school on the esports team introduce the world to what esports is, and that the high school has an esports team. Some of you guys that are fishermen, hey, Paris and Henry County is known for the fishing. I'd love to have someone come in and just tell us all about how you go about catching fish out there on that lake. I've been here for almost as long as Carl, or maybe as long as Carl, and I'm not so good at fishing out there on that big lake. It's a big lake. Any ideas, we'd love to have them. Again, thanks to the crew. Thank you, Kevin, for putting all this together. Thanks, Jason, for the hard work that you do, keeping us look good, keeping us looking good. And thanks to all the viewers out there. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Good Day Paris. And I hope that today wasn't just a good day. I hope tomorrow's not just a good day. I hope it was a great day and you have a great day. Take care. Good night.